Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm Han, and today plant recovery is this rubber plant. This is a rubber plant which has botanical name Ficus elastica burgundy, and then this is a plant from one of our coffee shop customer. She says she had been growing this plant outdoor, and when she brought it this plant in the beginning at her place, it was pretty much good size, more like dark color, and it has more, how to say, the foliage was more facing upward, and yeah, generally was much more healthier than this. But then while she was away for holiday, she couldn't take care of the plant, and then from that time the plant has been constantly being damaged, and gave off this plant and then just hand over to me for free donation. So when I see this plant, like first thing first, what I can figure out straight is the plant has been, looks like, sitting outside and then has been exposed in the too much sunlight. The reason is because I can see there is so much damage on the foliage, and even texture is a little bit different, and I'm guessing this is caused by the strong sunburn. And also the most of the foliage is kind of wilted to downward. Even though rubber plant has thick leaf, it's kind of able to store the water in the foliage. That's why general rubber plant is quite hardy and then kind of easy to take care of it. It can be like kind of drought tolerant just because of the character. However, also at the same time, when the rubber plant is like not really get water enough, then this is kind of common symptom that the foliage is being wilted. And also, if it has been last for long like that, then it's kind of like shape is become like that. So I guess this plant hasn't been watered properly as well. And yeah, I think the top is like she trying to tip up on upwards, maybe because the upper side is more damaged, and then she wanted to make it like generate the new shoot. And yes, I can see there is new shoot is coming up, but then still like eventually every structure wise it doesn't really looks good for me. So to recover this plant, what I need to do is, I think I just need to make it this plant to be grow like a tree shape. That's what I think, like so far. And for that, what I can do is probably get rid of the bottom foliage except for tip. In that way, it can encourage the stem to be make it a little more thicker to the base. And then when it's a little bit grow enough, then trying to cut tip off. In that way, I can encourage the having a new shoot from the hidden bud. It's probably I'm gonna repot this one. I mean, I'm not gonna increase the pot size. However, still I will take it off this pot, and then I think the soil is pretty much like very old and then doesn't have any nutrition in there, so I will just take the root from the pot and then remove the soil and then repot into new soil which has more containing nutrition, and then yeah, trying to give them a training or trimming on this video. So to remove the soil, actually the soil itself is not really bad, but still I believe it's not gonna have much nutrition, so we're just trying to remove the soil from the root and then repot. I will just gently break it with hand. Since the root is not entirely filled up with the pot, I think I just can reuse. I just put it in the same pot. If you want to make it more carefully doing it, then you can use the brush or you can use the stick to removing the soil as well. But like generally the rubber plant itself is like kind of very hardy plant, and then with this stress, I strongly believe it's not gonna be affected too much. So I'm just gonna remove it everything with my hand. So right now, I think that much it should be fine, cause anyway the soil itself is like it's not actually not really that bad as I was expecting. So maybe this much is fine. And also at the same time, if I try to remove every single soil, then I can't really avoid to damaging all the small roots, these small roots areas, which has a very significant role of absorbing the nutrition. So instead of trying to remove more soil from here, I will just pot it as it is like that. So the soil that I'm going to use for here is rare draining potting mix, which is just mixture of the orchid bark, horticharcoal with a cocoa pit, and also perlite. Honestly, for this plant, doesn't really need to use like this kind of good quality soil, I'll say, because once again, this is very hardy plant, so I feel like it doesn't really require to potting in this soil. But also again, since from now on I'm gonna start to growing this plant indoor, compared to growing the plant outdoor, it tends to be like the soil tends to be dry way much slower, just because, you know, if it's outside there is a lot of breeze and the sunlight is more stronger, and also there is a lot of factors that helping to dry the soil. However, in the indoor there is limited like airflow and also less like sunlight, so mostly when you're growing the plant indoor, it's like the soil tends to dry much slower. That's why, even though I think it's a little bit too much for using this soil on here, but I still using it. But if ever just other soil, using the other soil is gonna be still fine for this plant, I believe. So after potting installed, getting a setter, help it to setter the soil. Done. Here doing potting, it's kind of better to go slightly below than the pot, the soil level. Only the reason is because in that way, when you are water, it's not really, how to say, overflow. The water can be still staying in the spot and then slowly get absorbed. So honestly, in this video, I just actually potted slightly lower. Only the reason is because I found the root ball is actually quite much smaller than what I was thinking. And then if it's potting in a way much bigger area, then it's kind of working in a negative way. So because of that reason, I just intentionally a little bit pot lower, and then once the root is a little bit more fulfilled, then trying to bring it up and then to put some more soil. In that way, I don't need to prepare another bigger pot, and also at the same time quite easily can do repotting. Since I just finished the repotting, I'll just give some water for now. So when you do watering, what you can do is, if you have it, using a shower is much better. But if you don't have it, it's okay to water with with the watering can as well. But only thing is, like, the important thing is when you water it, not just giving a water like this once and finishing it. It's better to wait a little bit for a while after water the plant. Wait a little bit for a while and then give water again. And repeating this one about 3 to 4 times. Another good way to watering the plant is, like, if you have it, just prepare the saucer at the bottom and then give a water on top. When the saucer is filled up with the water, instead of getting a little bit straight, we just leave it for a while, the plant, for about like 20 minutes. Then in that way, all the soils from the bottom will absorb the water from the saucer as well. So now watering is pretty much finished, and then from now what I'm going to do with this one is actually pretty close to the experiment as well. Like, since all the foliage is already damaged too much, and it's never gonna be able to be as good as brand new foliage, and then with this status it's never gonna be like that. So right now with this plant, anyway, on the notes there is a hidden bud as well, which is gonna be possible to grow later. And for now, anyway, later on I will encourage to having a new shoot again. So at this stage, I was just trying to remove this damaged foliage except for top. In that way, I can encourage the trunk, the branch, to make it thicker. And when it's a little bit more thicker, then I will give a trim. So I can encourage the hidden buds to have a new buds and then spreading the new branch. From there, I will try to make it like a tree-shaped rubber plant. It will be kind of long project, but I still believe like it's gonna be okay, because right now it's spring here, which is November. It's spring, and mostly rubber plant is kind of tends to grow a little faster, so maybe like we can see the result quite quick. But anyway, besides that, let me just start to remove all the damaged foliage. This one is actually, you just can cut it off, but if you wear the glove, you just can get rid of it by hand. But only the things that you need to be careful is that this rubber plant has a sap which is kind of toxic, which can cause irritation. So just be aware and then not trying to not touch this rubber liquid. So I will just leave the top 2 of foliage each. Like that. So just gonna give handful so you can help it to grow a little more. Yeah, so right now things that I can do is I've done pretty much everything for what I can do for this plant for now. Only the other things that I can do is I'm just gonna placing this plant in a good position and then constantly give water. Since the plant was kind of suffering the drought, so probably I will just trying to give water a little often until it's being recovered. So probably I will give water about once in 5 to 6 days for now. And then placing this one in the kind of bright area in my home, just because this plant generally perform pretty well in the bright to lower light anywhere, but still most of the plants perform much better when they have sufficient light. But also at the same time, if it's too close to the window, it may suffer with a sunburn, so I will just give a little bit of distance from the window, but still I will place in the quite bright area. About the fertilizer, it's I was just trying to give fertilizer once in a month, just because right now it's springtime and then this plant is growing a little fast. So to make it grow faster and faster, I will just give fertilizer once in a month. And yeah, I think that's pretty much everything for take care of this plant to recover it. Hope you enjoyed this video. This isn't really looks pretty at the moment, but I believe after a month later or after 2 months later, we will start to see the differences. And then when I try to do more and more, then it will help it. Then we were able to find it's become more and more beautiful. So just to be careful. It's always better to be careful. So don't follow what I did at the moment until I bring the result. But of course, I will keep update how this plan is performing through my Instagram and YouTube channel. Then thank you for watching, and I will see you later.